Hey guys, welcome back to Kumasao Reviews. What we're taking a look at is Iron Factory's EX-36, the Tyrant. Even if you don't recognize this form, this is an homage to the IDW versions, yes, plural versions of Megatron. So this is one of 4 looks that you can give them using all of those accessories over there, which we'll go over. It doesn't come with a stand. I think one of the backpacks has a peg hole in it, so I want to try like a flight poster in this review. But don't worry, we're going to go over the transformation. We're going to go over all of the different forms that this can pull off, as well as some comparisons and things like that too. He also comes with some additional hands for, I think it's Wings of Tyrant Red, which is their Starscream. So we'll take a look at those as well. This might be a lengthier review than normal because we're gonna pack it all in, but it's gonna take as long as it takes, and I wanna get things moving. So starting off, the size, 4¼ inches tall. Give you guys a roundabout here. Really good details on them. Not gonna lie. So if you read things like All Hail Megatron, you'll see that he started off as a miner, had this look, and it's what it is. And this is how he comes in the package. So this is what we'll go over into the transformation and things like that. And then afterwards, we'll show you how to, do those swap parts and whatnot. Get those different looks going. All right, so up and down, good upward movement, not so much down. This piece for the transformation, he has a hinge here, so you can kind of put that up and then move the head down. Cheat a little bit, but that'll give you some downward movement without, moving the placement of the head too much. The shoulders, there is an up and down, so you can give them more of an imposing look with the shoulders higher up, whatever you want to do. The shoulders are on ball joints, so 360. You've got the in and out swing, separate from the shoulder pieces themselves. You do have swivel here, right above the elbow, 90 degrees. Hands, he actually comes with a number of hands. They all peg in and peg out, so no articulation on the hands themselves, but they do have, I don't know what you'd call that, but that in and out flick. But it does have 360 rotation. The waist, 360. These flaps on the side, move in and out, get them out of the way, so good side swing. Look at the forward, not so much, because this front skirt doesn't have articulated pieces. Well, let's make sure here. Actually, it does. Had to catch myself. Alright. So there you go. You can at least get that 90 degrees. Front, back, no skirt in the back. Looking at the knees. Alright. Well past 90 degree bend. Really cool stuff. The thigh swivel. And these peg in and out. If you hear my dog in the background, I apologize. Wife just got home not too long ago, so they're excited, they're playing. Whenever somebody new comes into the house, well, not new, but different, because she's been at work all day and I've been off, they act like they've gotten a second life to annoy people. Alright, so lots of ankle building, the ankle tilt there. You see that movement in the front of the foot, and then the whole foot really doesn't do like the whole back and forth movement thing. It's just the front of the foot. All right, so just for the sake of getting them into something quick pose. Alright, so there's that. This one also utilizes the sword. 5 millimeters like normal. And that was just really tight. So peg that back in. You don't really have a lot of clearance to move the head, and that's another one where it's just tight. but they're not like scary tight. They're more, I don't know, learn where to brace it when moving things around kind of tight, if that makes sense. Alright. Again, just for the sake of getting them into something quick here, we do a lot more posing when we actually do the swap it apart and things like that, because we're going to have 4 versions of Megatron to play around with and pose. But there you go. Alright, so getting this guy transformed, we've already removed the cannon. In this one, it has this additional blaster on the left forearm, so just popping that off as well. So nothing on the forearms. And what we're going to do, turn this guy around. These unpeg, those 2 treads, turn around the head, and it says to bring it all the way down, but you can't because there's something blocking it. So we're going to bring it down as far as we can, and we're just going to leave that alone for right now. So I think it's just an oversight, you know, on their behalf with the instructions. Now, with these forearms, those panels, they flip up. The wrist, boom, back down. And did you see I had the palms face inwards? Palm inward. Boom. Okay, so we got that. We're turning this back around to the front now. Bringing these pieces down, the shoulder pieces. Turning these forward. Bring that down. Bring that down. The fronts of these feet. Bring them down. Those knee pads. There's like a double hinge, so bring this hinge down and also flip it up at the same time. So you got that, all right? So spread these out, and then on the insides of the legs, there are those 2 flaps. Boom, boom. And I'm just turning my instructions around here. Now what we're doing, we're just bringing the legs down. Boom. There's a hinge on the inside. Unpeg. It just slides down and then back in. On each side, okay? So there we go. From there, this here, to bring it to the back side. Forgot to put those skirts back in the right place, but that goes there. All right, see how I just pretty much flipped it around, easy enough. This piece pegs together. All right, so now the chest comes up, all right, and all of this flips down. So get the chest out of the way, all of that flips down. So that's what you got. Now what you can do now is bring that head the rest of the way back in. All right, so there you go with the head. Now with the arms, there's a hinge there. Boom. Boom. Let's get that pegged into place. Alright, so we've got those things. The chest, make sure that head stays down, but bring that back. These treads, 1, 2, and then there's an upward swing right there. 1. Make sure that's pegged into. There's a little peg right here that they'll go into. 1, 2. All right. These pieces slide back and peg in. All right. So this detaches, slides back, and pegs in. 1, 2. Make sure everything's still pegged there. Alright, 1. Slides back, and then there's a peg right there. The peg's right there. 2. Okay. You've got the base for the tank right there. There's only one alt mode to worry about. Make sure everything's rotated right. Now we're going to get the cannon attached as well. And we do that by flipping this backside up, then half, half, right there, boom, boom. Make sure I've got this right, everything in place. And it is supposed to go into here. So let's take a look at the insides of the forearms as well. And you can see, it's hard to see on camera, but there are pegs that match up with these two. So it's just a matter of kind of finding the sweet spot. That's not hard. That wasn't hard at all. And I'll be honest with you guys, this is my first time transforming it. I just went through the instructions to make sure they were simple enough, you know, to relate to you guys. But yeah, just tightening things back up. Alright, so a quick look at the alt mode. Quadruped tank. Make sure everything's sitting flat. No rolling treads or anything like that. So I mean, it's what it is, but parts aren't frail or anything, so if you want to roll it across the floor and actually play, definitely not bad. You've got the articulation there. The whole thing rotates. It can get about 45 degrees on each side. And then, if you actually want to, you can unpeg and then have some up and down movement too, which is really neat. So overall, this is a pretty cool day of alt mode. I like it a lot. Alright, so as stated earlier, this look is called Origin, alluding to his mining origins and things like that. You guys are roundabout here. So basically the parts that you change out are the head, these hip skirts, the shoulders, the cannons, and the legs. So there are 4 varieties you can use, and we're gonna kind of evolve them. The next is gonna be the Stormbringer Megatron, and that one's called Infiltration. All right. So for that one, use the same shoulders. Kind of bring them down. Bring those forward. We're going to change out the arm cannon. And he also doesn't have this. All right. So the next thing is going to be to change out the head. So for the head, pretty easy. Pop that back. And then you can just pull it off. It's not hard. It's firm, but not super firm. So I'll zoom in and show you guys how I pop the head on the ball joint without unscrewing. Because the thing is, this piece wants to go in and out. So what I do while it's kind of back, I do it at an angle and push it down. All right, let me just peg those pieces back in. Oh, forgot to bring his hip skirt back up from transformation as well, but all right, so there you go. When I transformed him back, I forgot to swing that piece back around. That's all. All right. And this has always been one of my favorite looks for Megatron, period. So it's nice to see it homaged here. This will more than likely be the version that I display. And I love that they went out of their way to give him its own special turret, as well as its own head. So really cool stuff there. Now one thing that's nice, for these, if you want to go ahead and transform, this one you cannot. But the other cannon you can, I believe. Use it as the turret for the tank mode, and we'll get to that in a second. So, okay. Stormbringer, infiltration. So now we'll take him to Monstrosity. That's going to be the more IDW styled one that you know, still a tank, but more G1 inspired. Alright, so what we do, we take these shoulders off. You remove this red part as well. Take its shoulders off, get these off. Alright, so there's that. We're going to go ahead and take these hip skirts off as well. May as well take the head off since we're up here. Boom. It's noticeable to you guys, but my camera just timed out. So these leg pieces, they also come out. Unpeg that. Just pull them out. Okay. So there's that. These shoulder pieces slide on. Okay. The new, more G1 styled head pops on. We can peg these two pieces back in. 1, 2. More G1 inspired turret as well. And also the new shin plates. Pop that on. Alright, we'll also take a look at his mace here. Okay, again, IDW style tank. And now we'll take him to the more G1 inspired version that we all know and love. We'll actually do his hands here. It's pretty much the same. We're just changing out the back. So 1, and then let's go 2. Okay. And we forgot the hip skirts. Should have been on the IDW version as well. That's my bad. But of course, check out the full gallery on kumastyle.com. That'll have everything all correct. Yep. So there's that. Yep. Keep popping that off. Wanted to use that. Zoom in. Definitely good stuff. And this one is called All Hail. Now, closing this review out, I'm just pulling out what I felt was a good size variety off of my shelf. Want to add Starscream to the mix, but we want to check out those hands as well. So what I did, he has screws on each side. They just unscrew. His default hands pull out. The reason that they can't just pull out is because they're mushroom pegs, and the new ones are just regular pegs. Alright. Color matches pretty well. I'm just using an open hand and a fist. Kind of tight, but rather tight than not, I guess. Alright, we can put Starscream in front because he's a little bit shorter. Spread it out. Okay, and there we go. We've got a Decepticon squad. But again, this has been the review for Iron Factory's IF EX-36, the Tyrant. This is, of course, their homage to 4 versions of IDW Megatron. And it's fantastic. I mean, it's got the articulation, it's got the quality, it's got accessories galore. I think this is the first one to where, that's not a box set, to where I opened up the box and the accessories were just kind of like overwhelming and stuff. So it's pretty cool. You get a lot, especially for the price. You could order yours, Chosen Prime, TF Source, wherever you order third-party Transformers from. As for this review, like, share, subscribe, and check out the full breakdown article and gallery on kumstyle.com. Link will be in the description. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.